Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Season 1, Episode 4 of Trollhunters Tales of Arcadia, titled Gnome Your Enemy. We start off with a history lesson from good old Blinky, teaching us about, the history of the trolls, Day of the Deliverer, Bular, Gunmar, Kellerhead Bridge. Is the first mention of Kellerhead Bridge, I believe. Then we have Bular and Strickler in the museum building Kellerhead Bridge to awaken Gunmar. And I believe this is the first time we get confirmation that Gunmar is Bular's father. We have, Jim kind of getting fussed at by Clara for skipping rehearsals for the play. Then we're at Troll Market again, and here comes Bagdwella screaming, "Gnome! Gnome and the troll! Gnome! Gnome! A rogue gnome!" So, that's what the episode is. Jim's first assignment. Also, last episode, we got the 3 rules of troll hunting. Number 1 is always be afraid, which is probably, when you got Gunmar running after you, that's the easiest thing to do. Number 2 is always finish the fight, which means kill your enemy. And number 3, when all that fails, kick him in the dick. Yep, that is 1/3 of troll hunting is kick him in the grocknucks. That's what they said. Anyway, he goes and basically gets finessed by this gnome. He steals the amulet, and he tries to summon it back like it worked when originally, but Blinky's like, No, Master Jim, it only returns to you when you've rejected it. But once you've accepted it, once it's stolen from you, you can't get it back. And that brings up another question. Why the hell has Strickler not stolen it yet again? Stolen it. I guess, he's waiting for the bridge to be completed, but, he's just giving Jim more time to train at this point. Anyway, then Jim's worried about his Spanish presentation. And then Blinky brings out this thing called the Fergulator, which supposed to shrink minerals and then force Jim into it. And Jim's like, "Hey, have you ever tried this on flesh and bones?" And Blinky's like, "Well, no, but I'm sure it'll work." And it did, it worked. So Jim goes in there and he's told one rule. You shouldn't really touch a gnome's hat. He gets in there, he fights him, and he accidentally touches the hat, takes it off. Eventually wins, reclaims his armor, and then Frog marches him out while wearing the hat, which is just hilarious, and it's just funny. But oops, he isn't regrowing. So now they gotta deal with this gnome, they gotta kill the gnome. Toby tells a story about how he accidentally killed his Nana's cat, and says, "Alright, I'll deal with it. My soul's already damned, I'll do it." While Jim's staying in Toby's Nana's dollhouse, basically. Because, he's still small. And then Toby brings a computer, which Jim FaceTimes to do a presentation. I'm just sitting here thinking, why didn't you just call in sick? This was a bit too... This scene in there was just to add extra drama, because right at that, Jim starts getting bigger. No, first Noam Chomsky is let out and fights him, and then Jim starts getting bigger. That whole scene was kind of dumb. He should have just called in sick. What's Senior Ul gonna do? Senior Ul could fail him, but, sick is sick. Anyway, so Toby gets back. Basically, I'm assuming he runs out of school, because that's what he seemed like. Gets to Jim, and he apologized for not going through with killing Gnome. And then Jim says, he wasn't really trying to fight me. He was just trying to get a home, and points to the gnome staying in the dollhouse. And he's like, what if Blinky, instead of taking care of him, we take care of him, And Toby's like, you know what? That's great. I got a good name for him, Noam Chomsky. And thus, Noam Chomsky is now added to the repertoire of characters. Also, this shows what type of person Jim is. He's the merciful. He can finish a fight. He can kill an enemy, as we later find out. But he's not going to do it if he can turn that enemy into an ally, like he did with Noam Chomsky. I mean, just think about what would have happened in the later show if he'd went through and killed Noam Chomsky. And that's kind of what makes Jim different than the other Trollhunters. They'd have went through with it, killed the gnome like it was business. And they'd have probably screwed themselves over down the line, because Noam Chomsky becomes an MVP. Overall, I'll give this episode a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.